Guys. Trust me. I remember what Tetsuya Nomura said about Kingdom Hearts news, Kingdom Hearts releases, and not to expect any this year, going into next year, which is the 20th anniversary. I understand that, but the thing is, with video game companies especially, plans can change. What's up guys, HMK here once again. So E3 is coming back this year, E3 2021, the grandest show in gaming, returning this year, and hopefully they'll put on a good show considering everything that's been going on behind the scenes with E3 got pretty spicy there. When they announced that they're coming back this year, Nintendo and among other video game companies confirmed their involvement, such as Capcom, Koch Media, Warner Bros., Take-Two Interactive, so on and so forth. But Square Enix wasn't on that list initially, but they are now. President Matsuda confirmed that they're going to have a lot more announcements going off the rest of the year to complete their lineup into 2021 and beyond, and they're going to have a huge announcement at this year's E3 when it comes to announcements, whatever, and that we should keep our eyes peeled for that. Now, of course, they were talking about other video games that are already down to the lineup, have been released or are going to be released, such as Nier Replicant and Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. But of course, we have other titles such as Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken and all of these mysterious other titles. Life is Strange Part 3. Well, it's not technically Part 3, but you know what I mean, the third main Life is Strange. Yeah. And back in spring, Square Enix had an event, Square Enix Presents for Spring. And now we're going into summer, so it could be possible that the Square Enix Presents could be part of E3 for their summer show, and that could show off some really cool stuff and probably talk a lot more about what's coming to Final Fantasy 14 and what Final Fantasy 16 is going to be all about. I'm very excited about that. Now, of course, when it comes to the big names in Square Enix of the games they develop, we have 3 in mind at the top. Of course, people will like to debate that, but I mean, like, look at the sales, look at the ravenous fan bases and whatnot. And that is obviously Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, which are currently, like, you know, at each other's necks to try and see who is the dominant RPG within this RPG gargantuan developer. And other those 2 big dogs, we have Kingdom Hearts, which the 20th anniversary is coming next year. But Tetsuya Nomura said that we shouldn't expect any grand releases, any news, any big substantial stuff for this year. Despite the fact that Kingdom Hearts on PC came out this year, which is pretty wild, and the fact that Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is wrapping up this year, which is also pretty wild, along with Dark Road. But Kingdom Hearts Union Cross's finale was supposed to happen this month, but got pushed back to June. It's almost like they're getting something concise together, possibly. You know, I'm definitely down for a tease into the next phase, into the next game, into the next viewing of Kingdom Hearts, especially on how Melody of Memory ended, and how we know we're going to be going to Quadratum, and that Verum Rex is a lot more important than we originally thought, and Riku's going there. It's gonna be great, and I like to see a little tease about that possibly at this year's E3. The fact that Matsuda is the one saying that we should really keep our eyes peeled for something huge but is not really specific about it, definitely when you have the Square Enix present, I feel that's a person that's gonna have a little more pull than developers that he supervises, such as Tetsuya Nomura, right? Nomura may not originally want to show off something this year, but if we're gonna go off the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, which is next year, and to have a release ready for that and to get us hyped up for that release, I would definitely think Matsuda will want to gear shift, have an announcement, possibly a teaser, something small but something super spicy to get us looking forward to the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, especially if it's anything Verum Rex related. Yozora, bring it on back. Dylan Sprouse, let's go. We should really restock that mead. I want to try that mead. All Wise mead? Yeah. Mead is honey like wine, whatever. So with all things considered, with what could be in the bag when it comes to Square Enix and big titles that they're developing, of course you're going to think of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts. And then Final Fantasy 16 is right out and about, and maybe they'll have some sort of Dragon Quest announcement this year at E3, but I would love to see some sort of like small tease or some small glimmer of hope going into 2022 for the huge 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, and see what kind of game they are preparing for us this early. Sure, Nomura may not like this because Kingdom Hearts 3, we all remember when it first got revealed in 2013 and the game didn't release until 2019. You know, it was a great journey, and I would like to have that journey again, but not that long, you know what I mean? The earlier the better could be a way bolder move, considering that Matsuda is, you know, head of Square, and that Square hasn't been looking too hot in terms of releases and sales and stuff. I'm not saying they're in trouble, but I mean, when you look at things like Marvel Avengers and Balan's Wonderworld, you would think that he would want to reinvigorate and re-inject the juices. Like, okay, show off that project now. We gotta win back the trust. I feel that could be a strategy within Matsuda's head, and I wouldn't blame him for him considering what's going on with Square Enix right now. Once again, not saying they're in trouble, but you know, they've been tripping up a little. And a Kingdom Hearts game being related to Verum could give us some really nice buzz. And like I said before, all it needs to be a teaser. You know, if it's literally a screen of like Yozora just walking into the darkness or anything like that, and just like Kingdom Hearts 2022, like that would be great. I mean, look at that God of War Ragnarok teaser. People got really amped up and hyped for it. Just let us know what's going down. And considering that there's multiple Kingdom Hearts teams, of course the Union Cross team is shutting down, but don't worry, they're getting assimilated by the other Kingdom Hearts teams, and that there are multiple teams handling multiple games. I like to see what you got in the fruit basket. But all things considered, do you believe that we might get anything Kingdom Hearts related at this year's E3? Because honestly, with the words that Square Enix president is going off about keeping our eyes peeled, I like to see they have some pretty cool stuff for this year's E3, considering everything that's been going on with Square, and of course Final Fantasy 16. So what do you think we could see at this year's E3? Leave a comment in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to HMK. Hit that bell to know when my videos go live. Alright guys, until the next hype video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.